Rules for the Nothing Zone. This happened when I was very young. I have since confirmed the details with two relatives who were present that day, though I am the only one who experienced the event firsthand. For my cousin's 11th birthday, we all went to Skyleap Trampoline Park. Have you ever been to one of those places? It's usually a massive, high-ceilinged warehouse filled with rows and rows of trampolines stretching across the entire length of the building. In more reputable ones, there's a safety net around the edges so kids don't fly off and crack their heads. Skyleap had safety nets. They had other things too: an arcade, a cafeteria, laser tag, Dance Dance Revolution pads, the works. The whole place had an outer space theme, I remember. Ever since I'd seen a NASA documentary on the Discovery Channel, I had become obsessed with the idea of space travel. Safe to say, I was in heaven. Mannequins in astronaut suits hung from the ceiling on cables. Airbrushed blacklight murals of planets and little green aliens and flying saucers decorated every wall. A massive neon sign over the entryway would periodically flicker to life, reading, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," while a heroic-sounding voice delivered the quote from a nearby speaker. This park also had a foam pit. It was off in a secluded corner of the trampoline area. There was a lime green launch pad area, so you could really get a head start before bouncing in and landing in a giant pile of squishy foam bricks. I was not the most adventurous kid. Jane and Eliza, my twin cousins, were 2 years older than me. I was always trying to prove I could be as brave as they were. When we approached the foam pit, the two of them leaped in right away, giggling amongst themselves. I hung back, unsure. As I stood at the start of the launch pad, considering my options, I noticed tiny words scrawled onto the wall beside me in white paint pen. They read, "Rules for the Nothing Zone." 1. Do not close your eyes. 2. Do not scream. 3. If it finds you, let it in. I squinted for a moment, trying to comprehend it. What was the Nothing Zone? "What's taking you so long, Jules?" Eliza yelled from the pit. "Are you scared?" teased Jane. I frowned and shook my head, readying myself to jump in. I sprinted forward, blood rushing in my ears. When I reached the bouncy edge of the launch pad, I tried to spring as hard as I could so as to make the most impressive arc. I scrunched my eyes closed. Then I was airborne. My stomach flopped and a scream escaped as I flailed midair, suddenly giddy and terrified and out of control. I did not come down. My limbs were weightless, stretched out, sort of like when I let myself float in the pool. Head back, muscles relaxed, my whole body felt buoyant. I imagined this was what it was like to be a balloon, thinking of the rainbow cluster tied to the party table in the cafeteria. Once, I'd gotten a helium balloon for my own birthday. It was one of those fancy metallic ones you get pre-inflated from the supermarket, predictably shaped like a little astronaut. In my eagerness to bring it home, I'd tripped and fallen in the parking lot, scraping my knees. By the time I noticed the string had left my hand, my astronaut was 30 feet in the air and ascending up and up until it was a tiny speck against the cloudless blue sky. When I opened my eyes, I didn't see Jane or Eliza or the foam pit. I saw nothing. A blank white expanse stretched out as far as I could see. I tried to turn my body, but found that I could only twist my head and shoulders a few degrees in either direction. I kicked my feet and arms, but with nothing to hang on to, I only succeeded in wiggling in place. Frustrated, I tried again. By trial and error, I found that swinging my arms from side to side allowed me to spin ever so slowly. Behind me, my surroundings were more of the same. White, empty, blinding white. No floor, no ceiling, no sky, no horizon line. My breath began to quicken. I rubbed my eyes and opened them again, willing reality to make itself right again. I did this several times over, but each time I opened my eyes to an endless void. I was stuck. Next, I screamed for help. I called out for Jane, for Eliza, for my parents. I screamed until my lungs were tired and my throat felt like I was choking on razors. The sound barely traveled at all. The nothing just swallowed it up. When I could no longer scream, I began to cry quietly. I have no frame of reference for how long it had been at this point. It felt like hours, or maybe days. Gradually, I became aware of another sound, a distant, melodic whine. Each time it started up again, my eardrums pulsed uncomfortably. The closest way I can describe such a sonic experience is if you were to funnel 100 overlapping whale songs through a long, narrow tube pointed directly into the cavity of your ear. It was strangely beautiful and too much all at once. The void was singing to me. It got closer. I spun around in space, looking for the source. I could see only pure white. The call was almost percussive now, so powerfully rhythmic that I felt each wave ripple through my ribcage. Louder, louder, louder. Something was racing towards me at incredible speed, like a massive freighter tearing through ocean waters. I was nothing but a tiny swimmer in the path of its hull. Soon, it would crush me. The song swelled to a deafening roar. I tried to plug my ears, but the vibration was everywhere. It had found the resonant frequency of my bones. My brain jostled around in my skull. Every inch of my body felt like it was running through a tumbler while being pulled apart like taffy. I couldn't
I have
think,
since
couldn't
confirmed the
breathe.
details
I
with
just
two
wanted it to be
relatives who were
over.
present that day,
So
though I am the
let it
only
in.
one who
I prayed
experienced
for
the event
nothing to
firsthand.
take me away.
For my cousin's
A
11th birthday,
Skyleap
we all
employee
went to
found me at the
Skyleap
bottom of the phone
Trampoline
pit
Park.
several
Have you
hours
ever been
later.
to one of
The
those
park was
places?
closing by
It's
then.
usually a
All the other
massive,
guests had gone
high-ceilinged
home.
warehouse
The arcade
filled
was
with
dark
rows and
and
rows of
quiet. My
trampolines
parents were
stretching
waiting at
across
the
the
edge as I
entire
was
length of
dragged
the
out of my
building.
claustrophobic
In more
prison,
reputable
gasping
ones,
for
there's a
air.
safety net
That was
around
the
the
first
edges
time
so
I'd
kids
seen my
don't
mother
fly
cry.
off and crack their
My
heads.
cousins were there too,
Skyleap had
staying
safety
behind
nets.
to help with the
They had
search.
other things too.
They
An
claimed that I'd
arcade, a
wandered off while no
cafeteria,
one was
laser
looking.
tag, Dance
Years
Dance
later,
Revolution
Jane
pads, the
admitted to me
works.
what she and
The whole
Eliza had
place had an
actually
outer
seen on that
space
fateful
theme, I
birthday.
remember.
It
Ever
just
since I'd seen
didn't
a
make
NASA
sense, she told
documentary on
me.
the Discovery
Our
Channel,
parents
I had
refused to
become
believe the truth,
obsessed with the
but I
idea
know
of
what I
space
saw.
travel.
You
Safe to
jumped,
say,
and
I
then
was
you
in
didn't come
heaven.
down. We thought
Mannequins
you
in
were gone
astronaut
forever.
suits hung from the
One
ceiling
more
on
detail
cables.
about this recollection
Airbrushed
strikes me as
blacklight
bizarre.
murals of
I had
planets and
always
little
been
green
small for my
aliens and
age.
flying
My cousin
saucers
stood about a
decorated
head above
every
me.
wall.
After
A
that day,
massive
and I
neon
swear this
sign
is
over the
true,
entryway
I
would
was the same
periodically
height as
flicker
them.
to life,
For the
reading,
first time in my
"One small
childhood,
step for
we were
man,
eye to
one
eye.
giant leap for mankind."